Well, thank you for joining me for another episode of Nita Nate's Books, Author's Point of View. My guest is LaWanda Jackson. Her book is titled Breakthrough to Vision's Destiny. Welcome, LaWanda.
Okay.
So, LaWanda Jackson,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about you um, as a wife, a mother, and an author and a businesswoman. Tell us a little about LaWanda.
Okay. I am a wife, as you said. Almost 28 years. Tom and I have been
Yay!
we've been together 28, but almost
hmm
almost married 28. Yeah.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
we've been together for 29 years, but April will be celebrating 28 years of marriage.
Oh, that's
Um,
wonderful.
thank you, thank you.
hmm
We have two young adult children. One is in college. Ivana's in college, our daughter, and
hmm
Nigel. He's home with us,
hmm
doing some temp work right now.
Right.
So, which is, and I'm very very grateful. Ivana's doing very well. Film major, so and she's happy. She's doing really well.
Good.
And as you said, I am an author. My first book. Breakthrough the Vision's Destiny,
Yay.
my first book. Yes, I know you asked me questions about that.
Yes.
And entrepreneur, yes, I have launched a product line. In fact, this is one of my shirts. I'm having a great day. Who's joining me? That's
Right.
one of the shirts on my product line, and it's in online. And my social media name is Encourage Queen. So if you can look up Encourage Queen on Instagram, encourage underscore Queen, and my product line is Encourage Queen Enterprises. Yes.
Good. So we're going to get into the book and your process. Tell us a little bit how you began writing, and then get into why you wrote Breakthrough to Vision's Destiny.
Okay. I started writing in elementary school. I used to write poetry. I enjoyed writing poetry. In fact, when I was in the fifth grade, and then I share that on the back of my book. I was from one of my poems that I wrote. I was awarded being able to display my poetry in one of the school hallways, and so I just developed a love for writing back in elementary school, and it just grew from there.
Good. So how did you start the process of thinking about writing this particular book, Breakthrough to Vision's Destiny?
It started with my Facebook page, Just Encouraging Words. It
Mhm.
didn't start out as a book. It just started out as encouraging posts.
Right.
I wanted to give people just little bite-size encouragement posts. And so when I would look on Facebook, some of my mentors that I was following, their posts were really long. So if I had to go to work or if I had to run some errands or something, I wanted to read it, but I said, I need something that's 60 seconds or less. And
Right.
so the Just Encouraging Words Facebook page came out of my desire to help people like myself who
hmm
wanted encouragement, needed encouragement, but only had maybe a minute or two to just, read something, be encouraged, and be out the door. So I prayed about it, and God gave me the name Just Encouraging Words. I didn't have a name when I first started. I said, I just want to encourage people. I just want to, just give people just a little bite size something. And so Just Encouraging Words got started about almost 7 years ago. And I didn't start out to write a book, but the majority of what's in my book came from my encouragement post on my
hmm
Facebook page. Yeah.
Oh, good. So, what made you come up with the title? How did you come up with the title? Was it something that just in your time of processing this? Did it come to you easily? Did it? Did you have to fight and struggle to get the get a title for it?
It was a little bit of a struggle.
Mhm.
The book was being edited before I even had a title.
Oh, wow.
It was
Okay.
it went through the first edits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The very first edit before I had a title. I was like, okay, Lord, I really need a title. The book is pretty finished, and I need a title. And so um it came to me. God just gave me the name. I had the name was actually longer.
Mm.
The first title that I had was Breakthrough on the Pathway to Vision's Destiny.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was a part of a group, a readers group, and we would share our titles. We would share some of our book information with the people in the group. And a couple of people said the title's too long. You have to shorten. And
Right.
I said, okay, and so I said, okay, well, Breakthrough to Vision's Destiny. And so basically, the book, it talks about, well, it's basically a self-help book
Mm-hmm.
and a journal. And
Mm-hmm.
so as you are pursuing your destiny, you have to have a vision for where you want to go, and you want to have a breakthrough to write
Right.
your vision and your mission for what it is that you're doing in life.
Write the vision and make it plain.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's
Yes.
important. So tell me a little bit about your process. Are there any characteristics or thoughts that really made you say, I need to be doing this myself when you were writing the book?
Absolutely. um, I walked through the process.
Mm-hmm.
I lived the book as I wrote the
Mm-hmm.
book.
Mm-hmm.
And so one thing that you pointed out was writing the vision. It's very important for us to write the vision.
Right.
And so writing the vision, just getting an understanding about what your life's mission is.
Right.
So as you're writing, as you're saying, okay, what is it that God created me for? Why am I here? And I
Mm-hmm.
believe everybody has a purpose. And
Right.
so I talk about how we are all uniquely designed. God created us unique. Um, no one person is like someone else. So let's use a choir, for example. There are many sopranos, many altos, many tenors,
Mm-hmm.
some even sing bass. Well, each soprano, even though they sing soprano, they are unique. They're different.
Right.
And so they bring their own flavor to the table. And so sometimes people may think, well, there's a lot of self-help books out there. There are a lot of encouragement books, why should I even write a book? Well,
Right.
your flavor is going to be different. And so the book also shares how even though you may have what appears to be the same gift as someone else, because
Mhm.
of the flavor that God gave you, it's going to be different and unique. And so
Wow,
each one
that
of us is different and unique.
yeah. And that's so important because as even as writers and I'm you know learning different genres and there's a long list of from
Yes.
fiction to nonfiction, all of that stuff that people write in their genre. So that's important for you to say that because however, whether you're writing a thriller story, your story may be unique compared to is unique from somebody else's because it's really
Yes,
from your perspective. So
absolutely.
tell me a little bit about, we're going to get into some of the technical stuff. So tell me, what was the greatest challenge you faced while writing this book?
It was my first book.
Hmm.
I didn't know how to write a book. I'd never written a book before.
Right.
Um, as I stated earlier, I was a poetry writer.
Hmm.
So I didn't know how to put a book together. So the challenge was, how do you put a book together? How was I to put a book together?
Right.
So you were one of the individuals that helped me.
Yay.
Our friend Maria and
Hmm.
a couple of other friends helped.
Hmm.
One of my, in fact, the first person to help me with the edits is a friend who is a retired school teacher.
Right.
Very first person to help me with the edits, and so it was great having her to help before, I got to the paid editor.
Right. Right.
So that was a challenge. That was the biggest challenge, I would say. And finding the time to put it together. Where I was at the time, I was working and going to school.
Oh, wow.
So just
Okay.
making the time to put it all together. So those were my challenges.
So on the other spectrum, what has been your most interesting or your most fun or your most aha moment since completing your book?
Aha moments.
Or your fun or
Uh,
interesting things since writing it?
it was nice. One of the things that was really nice before I finished the book, I said to my daughter, because she likes to draw, I said,
Mhm.
I want you to do my book cover. And she says, okay. So she would bring drawings to me. Mommy, what about this? What about that? And I said, I don't even have a title for the book. I don't know what the book's going to be about. I said, but I'll let you know. So that just having her image on my
Oh,
book was really just heartwarming for me.
wow.
And just, I had the desire to have her to do it. And so
Mhm.
she did her sketch, and then having Clint, who did the rest. He took what she the idea that it was my idea, it was her sketch, and then he
Right.
just took it and he enhanced it. And so it was fun. It was very heartwarming,
Right.
and just grateful that for every time a book is printed, seeing the image that she created,
Right.
the eye that's on the book. This is the actual eye that she created in her art class when she was in
Oh,
middle
okay.
school. And so I said, can you take this? I asked him, can you take it and scan it? And he said, sure. So he scanned it into his computer, and he just, he enhanced
Oh,
the
did
rest.
the everything. Oh, wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
that is the story of the book cover, but that's great. In 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 all of this from beginning to end, who was your greatest support through all of this?
my my family supported me, but
Mhm.
my biggest inspiration, and would say my biggest inspiration was Maria.
Mhm.
She pushed me, she pulled me,
Right.
she encouraged me, she let me cry when I needed to, she
Right.
listened. She was my greatest inspiration throughout the process.
And I think that's important too. She was your accountability partner for
Yeah.
this process. And
Yes.
so, just knowing that we can't always do this by ourselves. We need somebody to, be able to give us that little nudge to say,
Yes.
what are
Yes.
you doing?
Yes. Yes.
And I think one of the things we need to understand, even as beginning authors, or even I'm pretty sure those well-known authors don't need a, you know maybe they use their wives or 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 what, but when we're first starting out, it's important to have that support system that says you can do this, don't quit, don't give up,
Absolutely.
because if God really has given you that idea, that thought, he wants you to pursue it. He
Right.
wants you to
Right.
finish it. He wants you to complete it.
Right.
And
And she
it
was she
does.
was the perfect person because she had written her book already.
Hmm.
So she knew the ropes pretty much.
Hmm.
But she's in tune spiritually.
Right.
And she knew when to push and she knew when to let up. And
Hmm.
so that was she pays attention to detail. And I was grateful just to have her as a support. When I asked her about being my accountability partner, she says, are you sure? I said, yes, I'm sure.
Right.
And she says, okay. And she says, okay. And so, it was nice. And when I found myself, one time I found myself slacking, and she said, now, you know what God told you to do.
Right.
I said, yeah, you're right. You're right. And so just, sometimes she wouldn't even say a whole lot.
Right.
I remember one time I was putting together a vision board, and my daughter and I, we were at her house, and I don't know, I had put together a vision board before. It wasn't like it was, oh, this big deal, but for some reason it was taking me a very long time.
Wow.
And she was working on her project, and then she had to go do tutoring, and she said, you just, follow me all day. And so I was like, okay. So I was cutting stuff out, and I'm looking at this board, and I'm going, why is this so hard? So she took a pause from working on her project. She said, what do you need?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I don't know what I need. And so she started asking me questions. And as she asked me questions, then I was having aha moments. It's all over the place. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And so one of the things she did was, I said something about writing a book. She took some construction paper and she made a book, and she cut it out
Wow.
and she gave it to me. And
Wow.
I put it on my vision board. And I was like, and that was what I said too. It's like,
Right.
wow. And it was a day that I was off. She was off.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent the whole day there. It took me about
Wow.
8
Okay.
hours to do a vision board. 8 hours.
Wow. Okay.
And
Well, but
I couldn't believe it took me so long, but I finished. And so just knowing that, having her as that support, and as an accountability partner, it was great for me. Yeah.
good, good. So we are almost at the end. I got a couple of more questions. So
Okay.
tell me, in your writing process, what programs do you use, or do you just use Google Docs, or do you use just Word, or was there any, products that you used while you were doing your writing process?
I used my husband's laptop at the time. I didn't
Hmm.
have a laptop. I used his
Hmm.
laptop, and I used a word processing program called Pages.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Is that on a specific word processing system? Is that just on a regular?
It's
Um,
on. He has an Apple. He has
oh,
an
he
Apple
has an
Mac.
Apple.
Yeah, he has an Apple
Okay,
Mac.
so
Yeah.
yeah, Apple uses Pages as well. Okay, great.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's good. And one last question before we end tonight: what does LaWanda like to do for fun?
I love playing games.
Oh,
I
good.
I enjoy word games. Sometimes I get with my siblings. I don't know if you've heard of a game called Boggle. It's a word
Mm-hmm.
game. You shake
Mm-hmm.
it up. We
Mm-hmm.
we lo- oh, we are real competitive with that.
Okay.
We're real competitive. So we play Boggle. Sometimes I play
Mm-hmm.
dominoes. I'm socially playing dominoes, but I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy word games. So I do Scrabble. Sometimes I play a game on my phone. I do play Scrabble on my phone, but just getting together with family and playing Scrabble. I love playing board games. So
Oh,
that's what I
good.
do for fun. And crossword puzzles.
Crossword. Okay. You know what? And this is a new question that I've been asking everyone, and then I probably have one more after that.
Okay, that's okay.
So a lot of people have this misconception that writers are avid readers. Are you an avid reader?
No. I'm just being honest. I'll say this.
Honest,
Ev-
yeah.
Every single day I read my Bible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Every day. That's
Mm-hmm.
the one book that I read every single day.
Right.
But as far as other books, I have books that I have only half, only gotten through
Right.
halfway.
Right.
I have read my own book.
Mm-hmm.
I've read my book, but as far as an avid reader, I just being honest, no.
Right.
But
Right.
I enjoy writing,
Oh,
and so,
good. Good.
yeah, that's something that I enjoy writing. I enjoy talking.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So one question before we get to your product line. So, oh my goodness, and it just left me. Or did it leave me? So, okay. So, do you plan on writing any more books?
I do. I
Oh,
have
good.
I have a lot of ideas. This
Mm-hmm.
book here, the first book, an encouragement book.
Mm-hmm.
The others, I have other ideas, so
Okay.
I won't
Okay.
share right now, but I
Right.
have,
You don't have to. You don't have to.
yes, yes. There are other genres that I'm embarking on, and
Okay.
so I'll let you know.
Okay, good. So one last thing, let the audience know about your product line, what you're doing, how they can reach you, and then I'll also have the information in the description area of the channel when it's up and going. So let the people know what you're doing.
Okay, my product line is Encourage Queen Enterprises. So you can find me on Instagram at Encourage Queen Enterprises. You can also, the website is Encourage Queen.
Mhm.
So as I stated before, my social media name is Encourage Queen. So if you if you Google Encourage Queen, you'll see a lot of my product line. You'll see me. You'll see some videos. And also, my YouTube channel is
Oh,
Encourage
right.
Queen.
Hmm.
Yes. So just
And her
Google Encourage Queen, you'll find me.
and her videos are very short and sweet and to the point. They're not hours long. So thank you, LaWanda. I appreciate you. I appreciate your candidness. Breakthrough to Vision's Destiny. Everybody go out and purchase it. And thank you and have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I wanted to thank my guest, LaWanda C. Jackson, for her candid interview. Come back next week for another episode of Nita Nay's Books, Author's Point of View. See you next week. Bye.